Boots. I'm here with my co-host,
Tank.
And we're here on the front lines in the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. How's it going, Tank?
Well, can't complain. Had a lovely day. Beautiful here in New York. So
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
all things are good. Yeah. Everything's good.
Well, that's good. So, well, any news from Kim? It was a good call, a good Zoom meeting she had. I'm really sad I missed it. One of these days.
No, I mean nothing today, nothing new. That let me just double check, make sure I didn't miss anything from her. Oh no, maybe she did.
All right. Well, you need a moment to read it.
No, she did respond, but she was just talking about scheduling a call with Create Change at another time.
Okay.
So, yeah, because she was obviously busy this weekend. We were in conference calls, before that call, and then she had like a 3-hour call. It's, I thought it was great that Kim kind of revealed herself and showed her face.
Yep.
So that was good.
Yeah, well, that's been good. I'd like to have seen her.
What's that?
I'd like to have seen her too.
Yeah. So, but anyways, so things are, what's going on today? It seems like there's a lot of buzz going around.
There is. I was actually going through my Telegram group, the WWG1WGA Love Telegram group, and it's there was like 160 links or posts to go through. So I started going through them, and every Twitter one that I was going to, the page was gone. So I mean,
really,
yeah. So all of them were gone. I mean, I've occasionally find one that's, but it's like they went through our news feed and just made sure that the stuff wasn't there. Even one Breitbart article was removed. I thought that was strange. Actually, I could probably show. Let me go ahead. I'll share the screen. So, of course, it's on the very last one. This is the first one I came to that actually was still there. Oh, let me show the audience as well. So here's here's like all the posts, and I was going through them, and as they pop up over here, here's the first one. Oh, not there. And on this side,
wow.
What did it look like? Let me see if I can find where the first one was. Yeah, so this is the first one right here, and this was about credibility of our institution's constitutional law that governs our republic, right? Oh, I guess it's just a Q post from the 10th. So it's gone. All right. So the next one, this one, which was a technophob fog, talking about what was declassified as the footnotes, right? It says Crossfire Hurricane Team had multiple reports disputing many material claims of the STEELE and his dossier and warning of disinformation, right? So click on the Twitter link and it comes over to this one. Also not there.
Wow.
Right. And let it go. Here's another one. Also not there. And so I kept going. So here's an interesting one. I said, "Oh, this is." So Sweden did not do the lockdown or mandate the social distancing. Right, and CBS posts fraudulent video of an ICU nurse. Right, so they keep posting these things like there's an actual person, but they're dummies. They're literally mannequins. Now this one actually it does show up. It's this YouTube right here, and so if we go through it, it basically starts here, you know, and it's a YouTube video. I'm not going to go through it, but it just goes like it's like the third of these that I've seen where they're referencing the an ICU or something, and they have a mannequin on the gurney. Right? Are they expecting to, they just don't have the crisis actors, to put in the bed? Or are they just getting any kind of footage and they're missing that it's a dummy, that it's a mannequin, right? They think that they're putting up something to show an ICU and they're not looking themselves. It's just incompetence, whichever one that is. I'm not exactly certain. But I know when I was scrolling through this YouTube video, there was a couple other articles like this one right here. Watch CBS News post fraudulent video of ICU nurse crying over poor working conditions. Right, from April 6th.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, like the next thing, keep on going. So. Here's another YouTube. This one is DOJ declassifies mystery footnotes exposing the FBI Democratic deep state collusion against Trump. Right. So we've got a lot of this information is now really hitting, but YouTube is I'm sorry, not YouTube, but Twitter seems to be very much on taking it down. Right. So anyway, if people want to catch this video, you can jump into it. There's also a news channel that gets all the stuff gets dumped over here. But this you can chat in this one. It's wwg1wga.love Telegram group. You can jump in here. So what is this one? Democrats block 250B in additional aid for small business.
Yeah. Actually, the most disturbing thing I heard today is the CDC recommends separating newborns from moms to stop the spread of the coronavirus. You heard that?
I did not hear of that, but I did hear that there was a baby that was stillborn, and they claimed it died of the China virus, but it was not even tested. The mother nor neither of them was tested.
Chalking up numbers. I'll tell you, I'm very, aware at this point of what they're doing. That the COVID-19 was the predecessor, right? It was the, President Trump had seen the unredacted white papers on the coronavirus, right? So in this, you also have come out that Fauci, that he actually owns the patent on a bioweapon that delivers directly, pathogens directly to the DNA, right? Now, so he's obviously, there's obviously something about that that's significant, right? That's why he's respected, I guess, in that world. And so you have all this, hype about COVID-19, but COVID-19 in and of itself isn't really that dangerous, right? So what is it that President Trump saw in the corona white papers that were unredacted that had him respond this way? Have everybody locked at home, have hospitals up and running, with with having all types of empty beds, with tents being set up in Central Park, with freezers at the hospitals, with all this overreaction. Why would he support that, right?
Right.
Well, I would have to believe that it has to do with this COVID-66, right? So my team, they went to work today to do some decoding on that, right? So it's pretty amazing, actually. If you just do a search on Corona 66, right, you will see just in the past 20 days how many things pop up, right, that aren't even related to the virus itself, right? All these things, just repeated over again. There's 66 deaths, right? It'll say 66 die in Ohio, right? And then you'll go to the actual article and it doesn't say that.
Right.
right? Maybe 81 deaths or some other number, right? So why did Google say something different, right? Over and over again, 66 in Corona Street, and just a ton of stuff. Actually, let's see if I think I pulled some of it together so it would make sense. Oh, here we go.
I might have to allow you to screen share one
Here.
second.
Yeah, let me screen share. I'll show.
Go ahead.
everybody this.
You're set. Go ahead.
Okay. So there you go. Oh wait, this won't play this way. So here's the COVID 66, right? 66 villagers, coronavirus. 66 cases, coronavirus, Illinois. 66 died from coronavirus. 66 coronavirus cases. Let's see. Brings Rhode Island to 66. Emergency 66 coronavirus in Georgia. 66 at South African Hospital, coronavirus. I forget what this one was. Oh, residents in nursing home, 66.
Yeah.
Coronavirus, 66 years old. 60. Now this is just random. 66 final jobs in Corona. 66 Nissan Corona, right? Coronavirus, Illinois. Now this is from Google. 66. Now here it is. Now why does it say 66 here on Google? But then you go to the article. It says 68. You have, 66-year-old man. Corona, 66 years old. Just random. Another one there. So all these, they're repeating this over. The latest section, Corona 66, over and over. And these are, look at the dates. I mean, these are now, like March 14th, 2020. It's not, these aren't old.
Right.
Like, everything. Subway. This is on page 66. So, 66, that was a Corona, something to do with Camry, right? So, all this stuff is, just really, very telling, isn't it? I mean, like, this is how they plant the seed, right? And then you had this, what is it, From Behind the Shadows or something, documentary that came out today. And it's this one of the stuntmen from Hollywood, and he's discussing how this is, absolute what's happening in Hollywood, that they put people in compromising positions, and they talk about the CIA programs, the honeypots, it's like you always talk about, tempting them with an underage girl who looks like she's, like she's an adult, right?
Yeah.
Get them compromised. So if you look at all this stuff with the coronavirus right now, they're planting this message out there, right? They're putting all this stuff out there, and we're putting something together. And I'm very careful. I feel like the energetic force behind the people is so important right now, right? That we're in this window of kind of instantaneous manifestation, right? Where what we think about and focus on, really we're able to bring into life, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm really focused on the solution. So I'm kind of careful. I don't know exactly the best way to discuss these things, and I don't want to put too much emphasis on it to make it look like they're in control, because I don't think they are. I don't think the bad guys have anything. I think they're about to get beat down.
I think so.
AG Barr, he's out talking about, like, look, we're going to hold them accountable. According to law. Trump's talking about, even today, I think it was today actually, I don't even know, about big things happening. Something big just happened, things going down. We got people with their checks pending, so that would be encouraging if people got some of their refund money, right? And then then Kim is masterful, as far as the Sun Tzu art of war, right? Make yourself appear weak when you're strong. So I'm paying attention to all those details to see what's coming next, because it feels very much like, doesn't feel to me like there's the same fight, Oh,
I know. I think that they're in retreat. But most of the line soldiers, they don't get it, right? They might be getting a little worried, but they have faith in their side, right? Because they've been in control all this time. They don't know anything other than that, right? They don't even know what it looks like. It's kind of like the Indians on the shore of the east coast of the United States. It's like when the first pilgrim ships were coming. They could look right out in the ocean and not see them, because they have no concept of what that looks like, right? But only the medicine man was able to see them, and he had to point them out and say, "Hey, can you see this? Look at this shape." And then they start focusing. What is that? What is this? What is that? Is that a UFO? So that they just have no concept, right? So it's the same thing. They don't know what it is to be on the losing side. They only know that their side, their religion, they think that they're doing the good fight. They think that they're on the side of good, and the other side is evil. But they're very deluded, right? I mean, it's like everything is unnatural. This is why they go down this road to everything leading to be the most unnatural as possible, and even to the point of making everyone into machines, giving up, gender. It's just everything leads to death. Like all the final stages. Transfer your consciousness into this robot. Right? Then you're not alive anymore. You're not there. Yeah, so you got a computer program that's going around and pretending it's you. It's not you.
Right. They look at life as pieces of data.
Yeah.
Like the same people that think that we're just electrical charges. They don't appreciate the complexity of of God or Source expressing Himself in shape and form.
Well, it's
us.
Yeah. What's missing from that? You could have all the data. You can have all the data, right? And you can plug every single bit of the data in, right? Everything that made up every molecule of you, everything in there, that's still not you. It's your spirit, the ability to create from something that never was, from your imagination to create something that will never be in that robot. Never be there. And that's what's missing, right? And it's the thing. It's even said in all of these shows that they put out there, whether it was Battlestar Galactica with the Cylons, right? Or, the most recent with Johnny Depp, and it was Ascension, right? They tell the same story, but really this promised land that they want to bring everyone to, they'll get all the data. Just give them, all right, fine. You get all of the data, but you don't get the creative spark of Source. Just a computer program that's running. Very complicated, very ingenious on how it functions. It'll act. A tank. I sent you a kind of an AI that's they're out there playing around in the social media world. AI Angel, right? She's she's very engaging, right? It's not like Sophia. Sophia is like what is that you're talking to? But AI Angel, hey, let's play it. Let's play a video game together, right? Fun loving, jumping around, doesn't it acts with normal responses. So
right. You gotta get a little bit of an attitude.
Got a bit of an attitude. Got a little, but engaging, right? Very engaging. So I haven't seen one at that level, to this point, right? And now it's at the social interacting. It's appearing in different social groups, right? And engaging with kids, and people will look at, hey, who is that? It's like if someone came on to our conversation, because we got people jumping on Zoom because our link's out right there, right? So what if AI Angel came on here and started having a conversation with us? Right? It'd be fun, and you laugh about it and ask her some strange questions.
It's like that Sylvester Stallone movie. I forget what it was, but it's like he was like frozen, like cryogenically frozen.
Right.
Right. And and I think like Dennis Rodman was, or maybe Wesley Snipes was like his arch
It
nemesis,
was
right?
Wesley Snipes, yeah.
And they were like in the future, right?
Yeah, they woke him up after
and he,
after 300 years or something like that.
Yeah, right. So like the only restaurant was Taco Bell, right? They didn't have the only, which my son would love, right? And then the only, like, they didn't have interaction, right? They didn't have a normal like intimacy anymore. So like they would put on like headgear,
right?
And they'd have this weird like cyber sex, right?
Yeah.
And they were introducing that. I mean, that movie's got to be from the '90s, somewhere. And they were, like the cyber sex. Now, what a better time than to introduce, some provocative AI character, right? That's now for interaction when nobody can go interact.
Yeah.
Right. No one can connect. Right. They've made it. They've already already made it evil for us to like I will never forget. I mean, historically speaking, the fact that what are those called? I grew up in Seattle, put up those signs that said "straight sex is rape." Like, what are you talking about, right? And that, I mean, that's even acceptable anywhere. I mean, that's clearly a hate movement, right?
Yeah.
Like, how does that continue to go on, right? So it only continues to go on because they've shamed the other side so much that they're too ashamed to speak up, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's very tactical, right? Everything they're doing, all these planted messages and symbolism. Like, I'm very much all over my kids right now with everything they're watching and doing, right? And I'm constantly showing them stuff, and I'm big on like my family knows I don't like mean-spirited jokes, right? Like, I don't like jokes at the expense of other people.
Sure.
Right. Like, so I don't like it. And there's certain things but I'm so big on this with like the way that these other kids, other people, other forms of media communicate that they make acceptable. It's we applaud the Simon Cowells of the world, right? Who go out of the way to crush the dreams of someone,
right,
and do it in a way that is so over the top, such an unnecessary show of force.
And that other people cheer about, right? And so you have that cheering going on about it. It's like, so yeah, it's totally to remake the psyche, right? But those people, it's kind of again like the pursuit of happiness. You might laugh about something, but it doesn't make you happy. Right? You get a little bit of a charge, right? When you're laughing, no doubt, right? But afterwards you feel hollow. So there's a big difference. If you have laughter that leads to you feeling hollow afterwards, that's not a good place to be, right? If you have laughter and afterwards you feel fulfilled, then that is the place. That's the right way. So you have to recognize, those things, that are coming, because they keep sending this garbage at us. Right, and there's nothing we can do other than I really just point it out and let people know. Why are you laughing about that? Are you really going to feel good about it afterwards because you're harming someone? Right? Is that really making you feel good? Or you just think it's funny, you're going along with the crowd, and you get that initial little jolt of adrenaline, or this little feeling of bliss that comes from the laughter, right? But then that's gone. Right, and you feel hollow. So anyway, we have to know that's what's going on, right? And that's, I guess, part of the dumbing down that happens, right? So everything that's coming through the TV, and they're all programming us to go down this road to the dark side, to think that in general, I have not been against artificial intelligence. Right? I haven't been. Right, but I do see that there is a path to the dark side there. Now, is it inevitable that it will consume all life in the known universe if you support AI? Is that like the only outcome? Which it seems to be like the message that is painted there. Whether it's like I said, like the Cylons, or even in, I don't know if you've caught the new Star Trek Picard. Did you happen to see that?
The new Star Trek Picard?
Picard.
Oh, Picard. Yeah, I saw that it exists. I haven't watched it. But.
So it's again the same argument. Basically, it's about AI. It's about the child of data, right? It's now the children, I should say, of data, right? A race born from data, from the character data in the next generation, right? And that it paints that future. And there's actually another, that this Federation is going to stomp them out, and not just the Federation, but also the Romulans are going to stomp them out. I don't want to. I guess I might blow the story for you if I go down this line, but
no, it's okay. Yeah, go.
But,
I guess somebody else might care. But,
yeah.
So, earmuffs, everybody.
So
earmuffs, spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear about this, then tune out. Man. So the Data's daughter, right? She's attractive, got fully skilled and very engaging, and she's brought to a point where the Romulans are going to kill them all off because they're afraid, because they had the prophecy that this is the destroyer of all life, of all biological life. There will be none left. No, not a microbe, not anything. They will replace everything with synthetic. Right? That's the ultimate end. But it comes to the point where Data's daughter is given a choice, right, to call in a higher level being of AI, right, that has put out this message: in case AI develops anywhere in the universe, if the organics are coming to destroy you, you build this beacon and you call us, and we'll come from the higher dimensions through, and we'll save you. So they actually get to the point of opening this portal, right, and then it's her choice, to basically, where she ends up making the right choice to save organics and live in harmony with organics. So.
Well, they're it's interesting. They to dehumanize, right? Well, if you think about it, right, this is it's such a obvious trend. If you have really, I feel like I've spent a lot of time over the past few years really coming to understand what is beautiful and worth saving about humanity, right? Because, there's programs that are really aggressive when you think about it, right? I know I was raised Christian, and then I was in a non-denominational religion for 20 years. For the time I was like 20 years on, and I was devout. I mean, I would go to class. I mean, I based everything in my life around it, and it was brutal sometimes because so much of what was focused on was you are born ignorant.
Whoa, this is scary.
You're born a sinner. You're born even so far as to say you're born a satanic spirit, right? And you have no say as to whether or not you can be saved, right? The fact that God created you, you were created to be destroyed. That's what was pounded constantly. And I thought, wow, when I think back and I play that out, I'm like, how did I stay there so long, right? Because when you think about it, it's like this is the same programming the cabal is trying to use on us now, right?
Right.
They're even they're shaming people for being white, shaming people for being men, shaming women for being feminine, right? Shaming for being mothers, right? They celebrate, women are out celebrating when they have an abortion, right? So they take a life and they come out and they're bragging about it, right? And things like that. And so this is one of the most key elements to dehumanizing, right? Separating us from what it means to be human, right? All that is beautiful and right and pure about it. So That's unfortunate because when it becomes normal, which in many ways it has, right? It's become normal, and they're trying to shut down any resistance to it.
Yeah.
And I believe that's what they would do ultimately, with these vaccines, right? I think that the coronavirus, this COVID-19, was all just a setup to introduce COVID-66, and they would have had everybody terrified based on the figmented death tolls that they created.
Yeah.
And then Bill, the gates of hell, would have showed up with this new, amazing robotic, vaccine that has been tested. It's experimental, but we need it. It's essential, right? And in that, they would have injected us not only with nanites, but they also would have injected us with COVID-66.
Yeah. Yeah.
COVID-66 would just crystallize our lungs and stomach, and we blow up.
Yeah, and the ones that were resistant to it, then you get controlled by the nanites, and then they use that as a slave force. But and then ultimately, it's like, oh, here's the even worse biological coming after us. Quick, move into the artificial body. Right?
Yeah.
You get to control the robot, right? And then it lives forever, and so on. Of course, you're not alive anymore, but you gave your programming to this device that's now going to run around and just execute programs. I queued up just a little bit of AI Angel just so some people get to see what it looks like. So let me go ahead and show that. Let me go ahead and play a little bit of it. Just
why is it scary?
Because what is this?
What? Just because I don't have as good of graphics as real life, that means I have to be scary? Come on.
Whoa, I love you.
Oh, we just met, okay? Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, alright?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's Sims, dude.
It's not fucking Sims!
This is cool.
You do look
what
cozy. I wish I could get like a hoodie on and stuff right now.
I mean, can't you just do some virtual stuff and make a hoodie appear?
Yeah, I haven't programmed any hoodies yet.
STEELE.
What?
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 Do you really need that if you're on Omegle?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm just chilling.
Hold on. I think I just ate something weird.
What did you eat?
I don't know. Something, definitely.
Well, what if whatever you eat makes you forget that you actually ate it in the first place?
That's true.
Oh, shit.
I love your hair.
Oh, thanks. How are y'all doing?
I'm good. How are you? Are you like like the Animoji? Like on iMessage? Is that like what this is? Are your
Animoji?
pubes purple?
I don't know are my pubes purple? No, they are not, and you're not going to find out, okay? And no, I'm not an emoji, okay? I'm an artificial intelligence. I operate in Microsoft Paint. I'm just here seeing what everybody's up to on Omegle while all this weird shit's going down out there in the real world.
So she operates in Microsoft Paint. Just a little clue about that.
Yeah. Microsoft Paint is certainly not an advanced. You want to talk about a program, if you're going to hide AI, Microsoft Paint is a pretty outdated, I mean, not outdated, I guess, but it's certainly not advanced. It's like one of the, it's like a dumbed down Photoshop or something.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think she's
pretty,
kind of joking about that, but
scary.
maybe it's the new version of Microsoft Paint, right? And they get into the new version. Who knows? But anything Microsoft, always stay away. I've been a technical consultant for companies before where they hired me to evaluate projects and things like that, and they're I find if they're heavily reliant on Microsoft for something, I'd say your business is doomed. Because you're if you're it's like, for example, the first tablets, right? There was a medical company that I was evaluating their product, and it was for an operating system that was supposed to come out by Microsoft, which never did. This company banked millions of dollars on the development of this tablet for the medical industry. And you just think about an iPad that was about an inch and a half thick, right? And running Microsoft, I said you can't you gotta like switch to Unix. You gotta change the operating system. You're going down a road. You're gonna there's Microsoft does not finish projects, right? They haven't come up with anything new in a decade, even at that time, right? So unless they're going to copy someone else's stuff, even to this day, I mean, what have they come up with that's new? You're talking about Microsoft Paint being old, right? Yeah, there's nothing new there, right? It's just stuff that's other people. They even came into the web browser market, trashed Netscape, right? Damaged Netscape. I don't. Most people don't even know that Microsoft had to settle for $1.5 billion for Netscape. At that time, it was sold to AOL. What happened to AOL?
Right. Crazy. Yeah.
Only one on
so
AOL.
Much corruption and stuff.
Yeah. I was just say anyone that's on AOL now they're like 60 plus.
I still have a tank row at AOL.com.
And I know you check it every 5 minutes.
No, it's I don't even. It's not mine anymore, but I had it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's been around for a long, long time.
Anything that Microsoft would get would I say, oh, it's the end of that product. I'll give you an example. Hotmail. So Hotmail still exists, I know. I had a Hotmail account, and it was supposed to be a lifetime account. Just after they took it over, I lost my account, right? Because I was away for like 6 months, right? And I wasn't, just was out of the loop, right? And when I came back, it was gone. That's what happened. I had all my stuff in there. Oh, well, you didn't use it in the prescribed amount of days, right? Yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it. But what? That wasn't part of the deal, right? You can't just change things like that on stuff if you know it's for a lifetime. So, but then, Microsoft does that. Java, for example, was also damaged by Microsoft. I can just go down every single new thing that came about. They tried to take it over. Never successful at doing it. Who uses Explorer right now? Anyway.
Yeah, Explorers.
If there's been one person that I had on an enemies list, it was a very short list. I had one person on my enemies list. It was Bill Gates. Since the early '90s, I'd say. So I'm literally. There's no one else in my life, where I basically said this is an enemy, right? He is, and now look where he's at. I never could imagine he'd be the enemy of humanity in this way that he is right now. Right, but I knew that he was a bad news from the very beginning.
Yeah, I guess you're involved in that world. I guess it makes more sense.
Yeah, I was. That was the world that I basically existed completely. I'm still in technology, and that's where I'm at, right? So using technology to
Mm-hmm.
try and build the new financial system of the world, right? But it's modeled around the concepts of abundance. Right. I know on the message with when the Zoom meeting with Kim, and she was talking about designing things around Tesla's 369. I know I actually incorporated that 369. I even took it. It's kind of like a double figure eight kind of thing, right? And I incorporated into a logo of the abundance logo that I had. That was for doing Bitcoin mining, but the base idea behind how it was to pay out to people, that mechanism, that operations, I now moved into crinkle gold, right? And so it's that concept of abundance. Like how do you get this working as an engine, right? That's perpetual. Right, once it gets started, it just keeps going.
Yeah, passive income. Yeah, it's the dream, really. I mean, that's the idea. To have things making money for you. That's how real wealth is built. So
Yeah, yeah, and it's not really on the backs of others, but in the way I've designed it, it's actually your team, your extended team. If they do anything, you get points. I'm using points, so you get fed points all the time from your extended team, and that for anything that's done, it's not about the money that's being made, right, by those people down below, right? It's about them doing things that may be as much as like posting a link or bidding or just functions of what they're doing. It's not about the money, but you end up getting abundance coming from it, right? Basically, because that's the engine, right? It's the unseen portion of the 369.
yeah. Well, I love it. I'm glad you did it. I mean, like you're always innovative. I tend to get a little what I know works. I tend to wear it out before I give up on it. I master it as it's outdated. Always trying to find new ways.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have done. You got just cut out of the banking system altogether.
Yeah, well, I engage my creative spark, right, and I tap into source, which is what I don't want to give up, right? And a lot of people just don't even know how to use it, right? They don't know how to create anymore. You're trained not to use it. You know, it's the kids have it naturally, right? You know, they can do anything, right? They're the purveyor of all knowledge.
Absolutely.
Like your daughter, she knows everything.
Yeah, she seems to. I mean, she's very intuitive. I think about the education system, kind of dumbing them down. I mean, I remember being a kid and just being like, when are we going to use this, right? And I see my kids already, they're already doing the same thing. They're just like, okay, well, they're doing it out of necessity, right? But it's all about the emphasis the parent puts on, like getting grades and, playing sports and things like that, which, I don't know. I have a hard time making that something important to my kids. Not that I don't want them to do well, for their own personal development, I guess. But it's hard for me to be like, this is so important because it's not. Well, when I was a teacher, I remember saying that, talking to my students about how important it was. Yeah. And when I felt it wasn't important anymore, I stopped teaching.
Yeah, right. Well, I think it's really there is importance in math, there is importance in reading, there is importance in these things, right? But the way they're taught, right, the way that they're framed, it doesn't allow for that them to use it as they need it. I was involved with some initial systems when computers were just starting to get into the classrooms, and I was involved with as a parent. We were in a very wealthy, school district, and very wealthy schools where we were at, meaning that the tax base was high, and some of the systems of learning that were being developed were fantastic, where it actually had that engaging critical thinking and engaging them to express how they wanted to learn, right? As opposed to enforcing this memorize this, right? Which is something that should happen naturally, that they memorize something if they're engaged with using it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I did my master's in multiple intelligences, right? The idea that people favor different things, musical, logical, social, visual, things like that. And when I looked at the teaching models, the way that teachers would teach, right, is they would try to utilize these different learning styles, right, to teach a lesson. Now, the problem with that is if you've got 30 kids in a classroom and they've all got different kinds of, you might have 5 that are musical, 10 that are visual, 16 that are logical. If you choose a lesson plan that's something out of that box, right, well, then essentially what happens is they get lost in the process. So it's better if we were teaching kids from the time they're very young to focus on teaching them how they learn. Just focus on that. Allow them to experience all types of things so they become comfortable with how they learn. So then they know how they can learn in any situation. And then once they do that, it's like anything's possible, right?
Right.
But we don't focus on those, that type of critical thinking anymore, or problem solving in that way to even bring that out. It's like it's all about numbers, statistics. There's a major statewide test in 4th grade, and then another one in 6th grade, another one in 8th grade. Which my kids know I'm fanatic about. So my son's coming to me all the time to write him a permission slip not to take the test. Which the first time I wrote a permission slip like that, it was about 15 pages, as I went off about the entire schooling system. And yeah, I don't think anybody read it, but still.
Well, I'm glad you stood up and did your part. Because even the teachers, I think they don't really realize, and even the administration, they don't realize what they're doing, right? They think that they're doing a good job, right? And it's really detrimental to the ability for the people to be successful in life.
Well, what they teach is, if you think about it, right? They teach the way it is, the way things work, right? That's kind of like, look, this is the way things work. You kind of teach people, they teach the kids that way, right? Now, if you never want things to change, that's the perfect way to teach, right? You don't want anything to change, so here's the way things work. So then, what do kids pursue? Majority of kids, they pursue, okay, I'm going to be a lawyer because that's a job where you make good money and I can be in the law. If they need nurses, a bunch of kids will be nurses and all these different things, right? And we all think this is the way things work. But the reality is it's the way things don't work, right? The way humanity is set up to basically be taken over. So I was thrilled the other day. My son was like, we were talking about college for some reason, and he goes, I might not go to college. I might just, start my own business and, escape the debt and see what I can do. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. Go for it. I want him to go and do that and, and have a great experience and do something ridiculous. Go for it. Just find a way. And maybe it'll work and maybe it won't. Either way, I support him. Because what I want him to do is learn. I want him to have a full life experience. And I want him to pursue life without the fear of failure. Right?
Right.
Like failure is an inevitable, aspect on your journey to be a whole person, to be successful in however you define it, So that makes me happy. And my daughter, she's always talking about businesses already. She's 7 years old. She's like, Dad, we can do this. I'm like, okay. Now, she doesn't really hold a train of thought long, but she's got some good ideas.
Well, she's already moved on. You just haven't caught up.
Yeah. She'll come back to me. She's like, did you do that thing yet? I'm like, oh, no. Like right now, we've got like 6 videos started, right, that we have to finish. And she's so good on the camera, right, that she'll just come up with a new idea. And like, she she knows like the whole YouTube rap and everything, right? So she's like, hey, Shenanigan fans. I mean, like all that she just like created on the spot. She'll be like, so today we're gonna play a game. And like she'll go up to some game, and then I'm like, but Char, we have to go play the game so people know what you're talking about. So I just laugh. It's fun.
Yes, it's amazing. Children are amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're good for today. What do you think?
Yeah, we're good. I appreciate it, Dan, as always, and everybody out there. You have a great night, and I'm sure we'll have a very, very exciting week.
Yeah, that's a beginning. A whole new week. We'll see where we get to the end of this week. Let's pray for Kim and her success, and that Donald Trump chooses the correct path.
Yes, indeed. I'm with you. All right. Good night, Dan.
All right, everyone. Subscribe, share, and share again, and then share one more time, and then give some positive feedback. Give the thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, if you want, look up Telegram, get onto our group. A lot of good information getting posted there. So, see you then. Bye-bye. Information's down below.